Blessings and love. Hello and welcome, one and all. Welcome to Ascension's Love with Alice. It's such an honor to be here with you as we channel through the guidance for this weekly Angelic Insight. We're going to have a look at what is coming at us energetically over the week, commencing Monday the 14th of June all the way through to Sunday the 20th. Now we are in the last stretch of that Mercury retrograde. We have Saturn squaring Uranus as well on the Monday, which is going to be quite a it's going to bring quite an amount of energy. Let's just phrase it that way. And there are other videos on YouTube. I haven't done a video on that, but there are other videos on YouTube from other readers and divine channels who will talk about that a little bit more if you are into the astrology side of it. It is something really interesting to look at, so do check it out. But if you feel a little bit fiery or out of sorts, look at that Archangel Mary jumping straight out here, then if you're feeling a little bit fiery or out of sorts on the Monday, just know it's to be expected. There is a lot over a grand span of time, specifically around the years 1988, 2008, 2010 and now, where these points in the cosmic cycle kind of, peak, right? So the start of the week might be a little bit interesting for a few, but we're just pulling some cards in. We've already called in the angels, archangels, ascended beings of love and light, all those that are helping us here with the energies to see what is coming through. Do ignore any outside noise. I've been trying to find a quiet space to record this video over the past few days, and everyone's just getting so fantastically outdoorsy right now. The weather's been glorious. That's really wonderful, So there has been a little bit of banging in the background through the day from people doing some DIY in their homes. So do ignore that. Don't let it distract you. And I'll try not to let it distract me. But we're just going to see which other archangels are going to support us through this week as we continue on Dorenka. You know what? Dorenka's been so active recently. It's really wonderful. We've got Archangel Felier coming in here as well, which is all about animals. Look at the colours coming in here. Hey, we've got Archangel Mary. We've got that mother energy, right? So you may actually feel some mother ancestry, some wounding, some kind of things coming up to heal and to clear. But Archangel Mary is the overarching angel that shone through all the Marys that we've had in our history, right? Mary is a title, and she really brings that compassion through, that complete love, really enfolding you with love, really enfolding others with love. She comes in this aquamarine colour lots of the time. You may experience her differently, but when you feel in the heart space, that beautiful, beautiful, blissful love, that of a mother, that is generally Archangel Mary coming through. And I know she's been working with me a lot this week, which has been beautiful as well. And then we've got Raphael here, so we've got a lot of healing coming through, it feels, mixed in with this energy that Dorenka brings, with this seeing through the veil and peeling back illusions. And that's really going to help us get into the depths of energy, right? Because this I always feel Dorenka links very much with the Pluto retrograde that we are in right now, right? Because that Pluto energy, and you can see this on the videos that I've done about Pluto retrograde or about any of the other retrogrades that we are in, because we've got Saturn as well also retrograde and allowing us to go inwardly and introspect. But I always find Dorenka really helps us not only peel back the layers of what is truth and untruth in this world that we are awaken, but also in our own truth, right? Peeling back the veils of illusion within ourselves and excuses and reasons that we've given ourselves, and justifications we've provided over the years to explain how we felt, and why someone may have done something, or why we may have done something. There we go. I'm gonna ask Archangel Gabriel to help me with my words. But yeah, it's a really interesting energy coming through here. And look, here we've got purple and yellow, and these two colours, generally speaking, are opposite each other on the wheel, on the circle of colours, right? The wheel of colours. And Archangel Felier is very much all about that communication, that interspecies communication, not just with our human race, but telepathically as well, with animals, with trees, with everything, and just really honouring and understanding how we are all part of this one bigger system. And that energy coming through with this unconditional love and the peeling back of illusions, then paired with Raphael, who's all about abundance and healing, right? Very much known for healing. My words are just a little bit stumbly today, which is super fun to witness when you're recording a video. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what's happening here. But, you know, that can just be that Gemini energy as well coming through, right? So the end of this week brings us into the summer solstice, hey? That is going to be a phenomenal energy portal. So we are still in this manifestation portal from the eclipses, right? So this energy is coming through as well. The end of this week that we're recording this for right now brings in that shift from the Gemini sun into the Cancer sun, right? And the summer solstice is bringing that through. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Zadkiel here. So we do have that transformation. Let's move all these up a little bit. We do have that alchemizing, transformative, purification energy really coming in with Zadkiel as well, like the master alchemist of the archangels, right? You know, this is time for transmutation. It's time for that healing to happen. And, you know, his energy here, I say he, but archangels, you know, they don't have a gender, they don't have a physical form, but, you know, Archangel Zadkiel, his energy is underlying the whole week here, you know, carrying that violet flame of transmutation. So there is a lot of that wanting to happen this week, right? So specifically when that's paired with the last week of Mercury retrograde, we know that there is going to be some deeper insights to our way of communicating, to getting to know each other and ourselves specifically on that deeper level. So let's pull a few extra cards here. Sometimes I'll spend longer on this and sometimes I like to pull a few extra cards. So we're going to do that first. But let's just pull some depth here for the energies coming through this week, just to help clarify why these beautiful archangels are supporting us, what they're here to tell us and share with us. So we've got this new moon in Libra energy coming in with Mary. That's bringing that diplomacy, that balance, right? That kind of seeing both sides of things and you know, rebalancing, you know, in so many ways, and love really does that for us. You know, that type of love that Archangel Mary brings really brings that through, you know, it brings that compassion through. And when we open our heart in that way, it really is phenomenal what shifts can be made, not only within our own inner world, but also in the world of others as well. I'm loving that Archangel Raphael is finishing off the week, because not only is he about healing, but it's about the abundance that comes through, right? Have we been pinching ourselves off from abundance? And you may have found that this past week where things have just kind of stagnated a little bit, right? We have conclusions within reach coming in under Archangel Felier. We have fiery climax approaches with that full moon in Aries. And look at this. This is a full moon eclipse card under Felier here. And, you know, that was last month's full moon, right? That Sagittarius full moon that we had. It was a full moon lunar eclipse, right? So whatever cycle kind of got started in that eclipse portal is still running through, hey? And then with Raphael, we've got this new moon in Aquarius, bring love into the situation. And on the bottom of the deck, full moon in Cancer. So so we've got this personal issue reaches resolution. Now, whenever I see a Cancerian card, I always do actually think of the mother energy, right? Because the Cancer energy to me, not only are Cancerians, you know, they're incredible with their shell, right? That shell that protects not only them but their family, their everyone around them, you know. But what I'm always drawn to is the maternal dynamic of the Cancerian and the depths of the intuition that they have. And with like intuition coming in a couple of spaces here, you know, with this Durenka energy coming in, and Durenka's not from this universe, right? He's an archangel that stepped down into our universe to support us with the ascension. So I always find it really fascinating how all the cards kind of interlink here and what is coming through. But let's see here. So we've got this new cycle beginning, right? And that's what's really wonderful is, like, you know, however we've seen things in the past, like we said at the start here, however we've seen things in the past, we've really got an opportunity to see it with our heart's eyes rather than our minds, right? And this is the thing that we've done for, you know, eons and eons, is we've always looked at our point of view and our perspective, and compassion can be something that, you know, is seldom found truly, right? Even when we think we're being compassionate, you know, who's actually the focal point? Is it ourselves, or is it the other person, or is it the whole dynamic, you know? And what's really wonderful here is that, you know, we do have this energy, if we choose to utilize it, to balance things out in such a beautiful way. Now, that's a really great way to start this week, because there's been a lot of influx in energy. I don't know about you guys, dreams have been incredibly vivid, incredibly healing, and helping with attunements and things like that, right? So if you don't yet journal your dreams, please do so. Please do so. It helps you decode them. But your dream time and your evening time is so important for understanding what is trying to be healed, right? Then we come in with this beautiful yellow of Archangel Felier, and this yellow reminds me of this joy, this sunflower colour, this sunflower energy, and when we are so conscientious with each other's species as well, you know, like all the other animals and that. I mean, for example, I was sat underneath a tree the other day, and I was just kind of contemplating the world like you do. And I was writing some ideas down about something, and a hedgehog just came up to me, and you know, and it was at dusk, right? It was at the end of the day. And a hedgehog just came up to me, and it was the most beautiful thing, and I didn't move to go and interact with a hedgehog. So I didn't startle it or anything like that, but you know, the love that was pouring out for the fact that this animal that I've not seen in such a long time decided to come and say hi before it carried on scurrying about to go and find its dinner that evening. You know, it was so beautiful, and that in its sense is, you know, we can honor each other, we can honor our species, we can honor other animals, and you know, we can show honor just by having this respectable understanding, right? That, you know, that we all are playing a role in our own life. You know, it's not just, you know, for example, without the bees we wouldn't have any food, right? You know, so we honor the bees, but you know, every animal actually has a reason for being here. You know, nothing is useless, nothing is, you know, everything has a reason. And when we honor that, and when we really honor the life of that animal, it really links in with Mary energy, right? Because it links in with that compassion, and it links in with that understanding, and it links in with a bigger picture. And it feels like this is coming through here is something about a bigger picture coming through for you. You're going to see something in different eyes, right? Because you're going to be focused on your heart space. So that's going to allow us to really peel back a layer of something and really see something completely afresh, right? Now, do take note. Now, when I have this full moon in Aries card, this often can refer to some type of contrast, usually a conflict, right, an argument or something like that, to me personally when I read this card. You know, so just and I feel like it's very much linked to maybe a truth that will be coming out this week, or maybe there may be a bit of anger coming forth in the collective this week, right? You know, there's been a lot of things happening this weekend. You know, we had G7, right, for example, this weekend just gone. And, you know, and there's a lot of things that have been shown, right? You know, like a lack of kind of like a do as I say, not as I do attitude from that weekend. And we've seen that, right? So it's interesting because it feels like that is going to be one of the catalysts to help peel back some veils of illusion for people. But with that can be this anger, and it's okay, right? It's okay for people to express anger because they're transmuting, they're purifying, they're burning away what isn't real, and anchoring in what is, and really trying to help themselves process that. It's when we direct it at another person, that's when it doesn't get healthy, or at another living thing, that's when it's not too great, right? But you know, anger is something that especially when it's like this holy rage of the divine feminine, you know, especially when it's like this holy rage of the divine feminine, you know, that's when change occurs. And that's very much, once again, linked with that mother archetype, that mother energy, right? It's the mother archetype that has that holy rage that causes the change to happen. So if you find yourself feeling that energy, that's okay. You know, that's okay. Because that's what then channels into a creative change, into something really incredible, right? From that fire comes this massive healing, comes this massive clarity, comes this massive leap forward, right? And then we do start to see things differently. And although this is a new moon in Aquarius card, I'm just aware that it's gone quite dark on my screen here. The sun has gone behind the clouds, and that's okay. We'll see if we can lighten it when we put it up onto YouTube. But not only am I seeing this new moon in Aquarius card as, you know, new beginnings, and as the caption says, you know, bring love into the situation, la la la. You know, we had that new moon a couple of months ago, right? And I think it was probably a supermoon as well. I think it was when the supermoon series started, and we have the last supermoon of the trio next week, not this week coming, but the week after, right? With that full moon on the 24th. So make sure you're checking out the YouTube videos for that. But this feels very much like it is actually linked to the new age of Aquarius that we are birthing right now. And these are all interlinked, you know, these are all interlinked. I'm just going to see if I can get a light here. Hold on, you guys. Okay, let's see whether that helps or not. Okay, we'll do that. And there was light. So I just find it really fascinating here how, you know, how the flow of energy looks to be going, you know, and we can even look at this through the week, right, from the Monday through to the Sunday here. But the thing to notice is this underlying energy of, you know, transmutation, right, which is a really incredible energy to have here, you know, and it's very much linked to, and you know what, I'm being drawn to the crab in the bucket analogy. Have you ever seen the story of that? You know, you get a bucket full of sea crabs, and you know, and they're all kind of climbing over each other and just kind of like there at the bottom of the bucket, and then someone has a great idea. They have a great idea. One of the crabs decides, oh, I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to get out of this bucket, right? So then one of the crabs climbs up to the top, to the rim, and you know, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is great up here. Look, I can see a whole new world, a whole new vision. I can see all of this. And then the other crabs are going, yo, what you doing? We pull you back down, right? And that happens so much in today's world. But what's going to be really interesting here is that I'm being shown that for the end of this week as well, because you might have an idea, you might have a vision, you might have something that unveils to you. And you know, and anyone that teaches law of attraction, anyone that teaches abundance magic and things like that, you know, whenever you have an idea that is literally like, that's come to you from the divine, which is where all ideas come from, they're meant to succeed, right? But what can happen is if we start to share that with people before it's developed, before we've anchored it in, then what happens is other people in their want to protect, maybe, or maybe other reasons, we're just going to leave it at that one, to err on the side of grace, for their want to protect you from maybe, you know, doing something that wouldn't be a great idea to them, they'll, you know, they kind of like chuck water on it, right? You know, extinguish it a little bit, and you know, they don't believe in it because it's not their vision, it's yours, right? So when you have received something from the divine, like an idea or inspiration, that is a beautiful gift. That is for you and for you alone. And if you are going to share it with other people, that's great, but share it with people that you know, are going to fully support you and not project their insecurities onto it, right? Okay, and I'm just going to leave that there with that. Let's have a look at some guidance here as to, let's see what the angels and archangels want to bring forward for guidance as to how to best navigate this week. Let's see how to best navigate this week, you guys. So we've got yellow coming in again, solar plexus energy, right? You know, so your solar plexus may feel a little bit spiked up. It's all about flexibility, you know, adaptability, personal power, and I love that these cards have those keywords on there because, you know, the solar plexus is our gut instinct, right? It's our natural instinct, and when our solar plexus is ascended into the fifth dimension, you know, we really rely on that to tell us what we need to know from our surroundings, from around us, right? So this week it feels like we do need to rely on our solar plexus a little bit, but make sure we're clearing the energy around it, right? Because we're absorbing and we transmute through that space as well. You know, we're absorbing things that are for transmutation, that are lower as well, you know. But this week is going to bring through the healing and the unveiling that is going to really help you with whatever creative endeavors that you are actually meant to be doing. We're at the end of the spring now, you know, and although, you know, in more of a natural calendar, we're at like midsummer, right? You know, by the Gregorian calendar, it's the end of spring. And that's the most important thing, because we want to get those roots planted. We want to get those seeds planted, so that we can really work on our personal power and actually allow them to take root so that they can continue to grow through the summer, right? So we're being shown yellow here, and like I say, to me, this is saying to really just be sure that your spiritual hygiene is on point this week. Really make sure that you are clearing your, you know, dissolving cords at the start and the end of the day, through the day if you need to, drawing in the Christ light energy, drawing in Archangel Zadkiel's flame, right? You know, to transmute anything around you, and then allowing your solar plexus to do what it's intended to do, right? Because when we are channeling love through our heart space and through our bodies, and our solar plexus is able to stand in the fifth dimensional, in the unconditional love version, then it can actually really focus itself into doing what it's meant to do and allow it to navigate us through by hearing and receiving the information from everything else. It's like, you know, this is going to sound really weird, but I'm being shown right now, you know, like when you're in the woods, or you're in a field and there is mushrooms, right? You see mushrooms in the ground. What's really interesting about the mushroom is that, you know, when they've actually grown into something physical on top of the grass or on top of the ground, you know, that's the product of all the interconnected, you know, all the roots and all the spores and everything that's underneath the ground that's connecting from here to here to here to there. It's all interlaced, right? It's all a web of light underneath the earth, and then somewhere a mushroom decides to pop up, right? And that's what it feels like it is for us right now. That's what it's showing me to kind of relay to you right now, is that you know, all this energy is interlacing, running through the earth, right? And every man, woman, child, every animal, every plant is like that mushroom popping up, right? We're all interconnected. And when we kind of see it in that way and we see that network there, you know, we understand that actually the solar plexus is there to bring us all that information and to allow it to move up through us and to really, you know, help us understand what we need to in that moment, you know? So then we have spring coming in here, you know, then we have the spring energy coming in, which is, once again, like we said, that those new projects starting, and, you know, we're at the end of that springtime. So allow any projects that you haven't yet started, allow them to be planted. We want them to take roots, right, so that they can grow and blossom through the summer. And how beautiful would that be, hey? Now let's just carry on flipping over. We've got selenite coming in here, so this is all about spiritual activation. Yeah, and you know what, we are in that to use a term that's been used everywhere, we're in this third wave of you know, of activation. We are anyway, because, you know, what we're seeing on the earth stage play out, you know, it is a balancing act right now. You know, as more gets illuminated, more kind of feels like it's pushing back towards us. But why that's really, really great is because we have to reach this tipping point, right, of people that are spiritually activated. So we have got that energy coming in this week. There is going to be a further kind of push of that spiritual activation to help people take away that veil and to do the healing they need to and the transmuting they need to. But, you know, selenite as well is a really incredible crystal to have around you, because you can literally use it like a wand to clear your chakras. Just move it over the top of you and down your body, and it can enhance the energy of other crystals. It's a very pure crystal. You know, I have one at the top of every doorway where I live, so the front door specifically for me, or my bedroom door, and it just kind of holds the space in a fifth dimensional frequency. I have one in my car to do the same in my car, you know, so selenite is a great crystal to have around this week. And I'm just going to see, yeah, we've got waning moon coming in here, so there is going to be that introspection energy. Everything that we're feeling, you know, bring it back inwards is what I'm kind of hearing with that. You know, bring it back inwards. And on the bottom of the deck we have the sun, right? And that's what this week is all about. It's all about this growth energy. You know, I'm going to pop you over the top of here. But this week is all about this this growth. And, you know, once again, we end the week with the summer solstice, right? So there will be a video separate to this one on the summer solstice. So do be sure to check that out, because that will bring a lot more wisdom and insight specific to this. But before we kind of wrap this up, you know, bring compassion into it. That's what they're saying, right? You know, realize the interconnectivity of everything. You know, if there is anger that comes through with the unveiling of something this week, that's okay, because that transmutes, that leads to a very, you know, clear direction, right? And a great amount of healing, you know, and allow us to stand strong in our solar plexus, our fifth dimensional solar plexus, not the third dimensional one, which is all fear-based and projection-wise. You know, we bring it in, we start the projects, we allow them to grow. But let's just pull a couple of final cards here, just to, before I let you all go here. We have gratitude. Oh, that energy of gratitude is going to be so helpful this week. And you know, yeah, the secret. And Magdalene on the bottom. Love it. I'm going to pop you there. Wonderful Magdalene. And you know what? The Magdalens are they're seated within every one of us. The divine feminine, she is rising, she is healing, she is taking back her power. And once again, it's like this card here before, when I was talking about the holy rage, that aspect of the divine feminine that actually creates the change. It is the feminine rage that does that, right? The compassion that holds the space for the masculine energy as well, to hold that space in grace. But what we have here is we have gratitude and the secret. So, things will be unveiled, but also that gives us access to a deeper dive into ourselves, into our own mysteries, right? Into our own bodies, our own temples. And really focusing on the gratitude this week is going to be so profound, because as soon we could easily go down a rabbit hole with any of the energy coming in this week, and we don't want to focus there. We want to focus on the constructive, productive, change, and for the highest good of all energy, right? And for our highest good of ourselves, our own lives, and all of that. So we don't want to focus too much on any of the spiraling rabbit holes that are around, So gratitude really helps us stay in that space. And when we're feeling tired, when we feel like we need to rest, when we're feeling an emotion, allow yourself to feel it. If that means you have a moment where you just feel like you want to cry and you don't know why, just let it happen and just write what comes through. Because this week you're going to really understand and discover something that you've not understood before. And we've got Magdalene really coming through. So with that, I have to love you and leave you. I know I'm just cutting this video very short straight away. But we're about to get interrupted, so I'm going to just close this energy up here. Call upon Mary Magdalene, call upon that line, the rose lineage, right? Really get to know yourself. And if you're not yet, connected with me on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, please feel very welcome. I'm having a few troubles uploading onto Facebook and going live on there right now, with some of the things that, some of the ways that Facebook try to do what they're doing. But Instagram, I've started going live on Instagram, so it'll be wonderful to see you on there. You can find me at Ascension's Love with Alice, on everything, on every platform really. And if you are watching this and you have worked with me before, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone that has been on the Rebirthing the Goddess program. We've just concluded that. It is absolutely phenomenal. So if that does intrigue you, it is an on-demand course where we go into all the archetypes and do some really deep healing on each aspect of that divine feminine. So if you are in the inspiration to actually really reclaim your feminine sovereignty, that would be an excellent program for you to go through. So do feel very welcome to check out the description box below in this video to look at that deeper. And in the meantime, I'm going to send you all so much love. Have the most beautiful week, and I will see you on another video or two that comes out later this week, because we also have some retrogrades happening as well for the week after. So we will get that content uploaded in the next few days. But so much love to you. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.